Yes, sir, and welcome back. And we are now at Accra Hotel. I tell you, this is really Carifesta 15 because we are moving all over Barbados and we're moving from island to island. We were just talking to landlord from the Bahamas and now we are heading to Jamaica in Barbados. Kacy Garvey is with me. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am wonderful. Now, listen. One thing I love about my Jamaican family, they come out and represent in colors. She looks amazing. She's got on her yellow, her black, and her green and looking fantastic. So it's Jaiku. Do I have that right?
Well, it's actually Jaiku.
Jaiku.
So it's a play on the word haiku, which is a Japanese style of poetry.
Yeah. Now I thought it was as in J as in Jamaica.
Jaiku. I put the J at the front just to make it sound, how Jamaicans are. We show up and we take over people things.
Earrings and everything. I'm telling you, if you were ever in doubt, you know she's from Jamaica.
Yes.
Talk to me about Jaiku professional poetry.
Yes, we want to raise the standard of how people view and appreciate poetry in Jamaica and across the region. We have professional singers, we have professional musicians, professional actors, but when people hear the word professional poets, they almost think it's like a joke. They don't even understand what that is. And we want poets to see themselves as a veritable business. We want others who are enjoying poetry at concerts or conferences or wherever else to value poetry through remuneration so it can be sustainable and even profitable. Because I think the arts is worth that kind of dignity.
How do you go from... We have a lot of spoken word artists who for years have expressed themselves amongst each other. Then sometimes you have these open poetry shows and it was more like just expression for fun. Mm-hmm. How do you take people from there to being professional with what they do?
Well, first, it has to start with the individual because there's some people who want to just keep having fun, and that's wonderful. But for those who want to have the choice to move it from a hobby to even a career, we want to get them to start understanding basic aspects of business acumen, how to strategize yourself, how to develop your own brand, what markets, who exactly likes your brand of poetry. Because every poet has a different style, has different content, so we want to match people to the persons who love their poetry enough to even put some money in them hand so they can keep on doing it.
Creatives are notoriously about what they love to do, but the business side of things. Now, what do you do to help poets become more business oriented? Specific things, we do monthly meetings where we are trained by poets who are actually doing it, who are paying mortgage off of it. So they give us tips on how to, again, do a business plan, how to do contract negotiation. Exactly, contract negotiation, even understanding what is a contract. We let poets understand what exactly is intellectual property, how they can protect it to ensure that they're earning royalties off of their work if anybody uses it, and understanding when they do a poem, even for a client, how they maintain the rights to that poem so that they can continue to use that poem in other fora. So we train, and we also meet and gather to brainstorm with each other on opportunities that we're seeing coming up in the literary market. Wow. Now, taking a poet from that fun space where everybody's into it and say a national stage, something like Carifesta, where as much as there's some fun elements attached to it, there's a business side and you have to be able to present well. Talk to me about that.
Well, I'd say the first thing is, if you are going to spend your money, would you spend your money on you? If you cannot answer that question, start to answer it. Basic things. If somebody's asking you to perform a poem for 15 minutes, make sure you actually have enough for that set. Showing up on time, making sure that you understand your audience. If you're going to do something that's a bit racy or spicy, make sure that there are no children in the audience. Ooh. Things like that. Just making sure you're matching what you're doing to what your client is asking for. And that's what we do at Jaiku. For the poets who are still new to this, we as seasoned poets, and myself, because I have a management consultant background, I've done market segmentation for other clients before. I'm just simply doing it for myself as a poet and for other poets in our database.
How many people are with you for Carifesta 15?
At Carifesta, it's around 4 of us from our group. But in Jamaica, we have over 60 poets in our database.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Carifesta 15 so far since you've been here?
It has been overwhelming me, just overwhelming me in every way. There are so many events going on, but I absolutely love this general camaraderie that I've been seeing amongst all the artists here. You know, it's like everywhere you go up to, everyone genuinely appreciates and values each other's art, whether you're a dancer, a poet, a musician. Like you feel that camaraderie, and the networking has been fantastic. We have already met poets from Barbados, from Anguilla, from St. Vincent, and we're already talking about even trying to do an Eastern Caribbean tour as Jaiku to broaden our database. So it's been an amazing time.
I'm still with Kacy Garvey. We're going to wrap up shortly from Jamaica. Jaiku Professional Poetry, and it's all about getting poets to the next level, getting behind not just the creative side of things, but getting behind the business side of things. I wish you could be a fly on the wall listening to some of our conversations. So we're going to wrap up here with Kacy. What advice would you give to people who've been in the poetry space for a long time or up and coming poets?
I would say get a mentor. There's nothing new under the sun. There are just a lot of things that we haven't learned yet. So I'd say get connected to the poets you see who are operating in that space at a professional level. And if you haven't met any yet, please find us everywhere. Jaiku Poetry. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, X, whatever, you name it. Get in touch with us because we're happy to connect you to other poets. Jaiku is also the Jamaican Poetry Business Network chapter. So there's a global poetry business network. They operate across the US, even in Tanzania, in Belgium, and Jamaica was the first international chapter that they started. So we have a network of other poets who can give you advice on how to take your poetry to the next level.
There was something we were chatting about while off air, the importance of knowing your particular brand as a poet, knowing where you should be as opposed to saying yes to every invitation. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Right. I think it's very key to make sure that you are bringing your poetry to where it's being demanded. So if you know that you are a dub poet, don't try to be pushing yourself into a jazz festival. You know what I mean? There are things like that. Like, understand what type of poetry, in terms of your lyrics, in terms of your style of delivery, even in terms of some of the themes that you want to cover. Like, for instance, I would never go to a male empowerment seminar. I don't need to do that. But there are other Jaiku poets in my database who would do a fantastic job. So your yes is just as important as your no. Both of them refine you, and both of them give your clients and your potential clients more confidence in booking you.
Carifesta 15 overall, not just coming as a poet and one who pushes professionalism, but your thoughts on Carifesta 15?
I think Carifesta 15 has been absolutely fabulous. I have been just enjoying every single moment of it, not just the literary arts segment, which have been fantastic. I've attended the workshops, they've been great, but all of the performances, you know, the music, the song, the costumes, the fashion design. I mean, it really does remind us of how rich a palette of art we have in this region, and I'm glad it's being celebrated, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to come here for the first time.
Wow.
To join. Yes.
She's going to come back. I'm speaking on her behalf.
That's right.
No, you know you can't come in here talking about, let me go Bajan, use a professional poet and not give me a little piece of one of your pieces.